Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will be making one of my favorite holiday treat, and that's black cake, or some of you may know it as rum cake. Be sure to check out all the ingredients and measurements that will be listed in the description box below this video. Now here is the first step. Now let's prepare our fruits for our black cake. I have some mixed peel, and this is mainly the orange mixed peel I have here. I have here some pineapple, and it's sweetened. This is the real fruits. It says pineapple sweetened real fruits. So I will be using this as well. And here I have some red cherries. I'll be using some cranberry, and in here I have some prunes. I'm also going to be using some raisins, and here I have some dates. And for my spices, I'll be using some clove, cinnamon stick, and allspice. In here, I have some red rum, and I also will be using some red wine. And you gotta make sure when you're choosing your wine for black cake especially, you wanna keep your wine on the sweeter side. So I'll be using some red wine today, and it says sweet red. We'll be placing this on the side. You will also need a clean jar to soak your fruits. So guys, this is my fruits that I really like to use in my black cake. It's a mixed fruit. But today I will be doing this recipe for one of my viewers on Facebook and also my subscriber. So and she also mentioned to me that they don't get these in Trinidad. So she was asking for me to do a recipe for her without this fruits. So if you do get this in wherever you live and you want to include it in this recipe, you can go right ahead and do that. Let's place this on the side, and I will continue with the ones that we'll be using in this recipe today. The next step is to your jar. You're going to go in with 1 cup of prunes, and you want to make sure when you're measuring your prunes, you press it down to have a nice compact cup of prunes. And I'm going to go in with 1 cup of raisins, and I also press it down so that I have a nice full compact cup here. And I'm going to go in with 1 cup of cherries, and I'm going to go in here with a cup of pineapple. This is my new favorite fruit to bake black cake with, guys. And I just want to mention, guys, if there is a fruit that I'm using and it's not available where you live, all you have to do is substitute it with a different fruit that you can find where you live. So I will just be adding this in here now, and I'm going to go in with my cup of dates, and I'm going to go in with 3/4 cups of mixed peel. You don't want to add the entire cup because this is mainly orange peel, so you don't want to add too much of it, and then it gets the whole fruits bitter, tasting like orange. Now, and next thing is, if you're using mixed peel, you will not be able to use any lemon or orange zest in your cake. You can, but then it might overpower the recipe and you have everything tasting, bitter from the peel of the orange. If you don't have the mixed peel, you can add in a piece of orange peel. Now I'm going to go in here with 3/4 cup of cranberry. I'm not adding too much cranberry because I don't like the sourness from it. Now, after you have all your fruits in there, you're going to go in with 1 stick of cinnamon, some clove, and the allspice. So I have 5 pieces of clove and 5 allspice. I will be going in with 1 cup of red rum now, and you can use any red rum of your choice. And I'm going to go in now with some of my red wine. And now everything is in the jar. You're going to cover it and allow it to sit on your counter for about 3 days until the fruits absorb the liquor and the wine before we blend it. Usually I would like to soak my fruits from months before, but this is a late request and I'm just trying to. But just so you know, you can soak this from a whole month, 2 months, 3 months, even a year, 2 years. I have fruits for almost 2 years in my cupboard. Moving on, it's been 4 days since I soaked my fruits, and it's time to move on to the next step. I'm going to go in and remove my cinnamon stick here. And now you're gonna place your fruit on the side and you're gonna add in a little bit at a time here. You don't wanna add any rum or anything in here to blend your fruits. Try to use some of the liquor from the fruits that you soaked it in. You wanna blend it to the consistency you like. If you like it to be chunky, then go ahead and make it chunky. If you want it to be at a puree consistency, then fine by me. Go ahead and make it to your likeness. I like mine's chunky, so I will keep them chunky. Of course, some will be at a puree consistency that I won't have control over, but now this is how I will keep my fruits. This is the way I like it, guys. Once you're done blending your fruits, you want to add the fruits in the same jar it was soaking in, so you avoid the risk of it being spoiled if you transfer it to a new container. So we'll just place this on the side now, and I will continue blending the rest of my fruits, and I'll come right back and show you guys the next step. Now, after I'm done prepping my fruits, we're moving on to the next step, and here is what you will need for the next step. In my bowl, I have some all-purpose flour, I have some brown sugar, my egg, and this is our fruits that I just made. And here I have some baking powder and some salt. I also have some molasses and some mixed essence, some cinnamon powder, nutmeg. I have here some browning and my butter. We're going to place all these ingredients to the side and we're going to get started. So guys, to my bowl, I'm going to go in with my butter here. And you want to make sure that you're using everything room temperature. And to that, I'm going to go in with my brown sugar. And now you want to start creaming your butter and your sugar. And now I'm just going to add in 1 egg. That's going to help me soften the butter and the sugar so I don't struggle. Now you just want to mix this and make sure that the egg is well incorporated in the butter and the sugar before you add in the next egg. It's not necessary for the sugar to be melted before you start adding in your eggs. Now this way it will soften up the butter and the sugar and help you to mix it without struggling. And just remember, if you're using a hand mixer or a stand mixer, just follow the same steps that I am doing. So now that that is mixed in, I will go in with my second egg here, and I'm going to mix again. And now we'll add in the last egg and we will mix to make sure that it's combined. And this time you will have to make sure that all the sugar is melted before you add any other ingredients to your mixture. You want to make sure you stop and scrape the sides of your bowl down and also check to make sure that the sugar is melting. So now that my sugar is melted, we'll go in with our fruits. And we're going to mix this in here. I'm just going to go in with my essence as well. And we'll just place this on the side for a few minutes. So next bowl, we're going to go in with our flour here, my baking powder and salt, my nutmeg and my cinnamon. Now we just want to mix and allow everything to incorporate nicely. And we'll place this on the side and we'll bring our mixture back here. And now we'll go in with our flour. We're going to add in half of our flour for now. And now we'll go in with the other set here. So now that everything is nicely incorporated here, we're going to go in with our molasses. And we're going to mix this in. And I'm going to go in here with my browning. Now you can use as much or as little browning that you like. I don't like to use too much of the browning because the cake tends to get bitter. Of course, the amount that I use will be in the description box. So if you choose to use that, when you're mixing your cake and you see it's a little bit too light for you, you can go in with some more. Just bear in mind when you add your browning, when your cake is baking or when it's done baking, it will get a little bit darker than it appears to be in the bowl. So guys, and just in case you don't have the molasses or you can't find molasses, you can omit that and use the browning to color your cake. I just use my molasses for that rich molasses flavor. So now that we're done mixing our cake batter, we're going to place this on the side and we're going to go prepare our pan for baking, and we're also going to turn our oven on to 300 degrees. You want to make sure and place your water bath when you're preheating the oven. You don't want to put the water bath in the oven when your oven is already preheated. Otherwise, the temperature will drop and your cake will not have the 300-degree baking temperature as needed. So we are going to place this on the side, and I am going to go prepare my pan and preheat my oven. So guys, today I'll be using a 9-inch springform pan, and I'm going to line the bottom with some foil paper here, and I'm also going to go in with a piece of parchment paper. I've doubled it with the parchment paper and the foil paper because it takes a long time to bake this cake in the oven and I don't want it to burn. So I'm trying to secure the bottom as much as I can so that it doesn't burn. Now I'm just going to cut off the excess here. And I'm going to go in with some cooking spray. You want to brush this and spread it out evenly in the bottom. And I'm just going to go in here and line the sides of my pan with a piece of parchment paper as well. And now you'll spray a little bit more of the cooking spray, and you want to brush it and spread it evenly. And we're going to dust it with some flour here. And now to my pan, I'm going to add in my cake batter. And before you do that, just give it a little stir. Now the measurements that will be in the description box will only give you one cake. So guys, we will be placing this in the oven and we'll bake it for 1 hour and 30 minutes before we check on it. You don't want to open your oven too much because you don't want the temperature to drop in the oven. After 1 hour and 30 minutes, we will check on our cake to make sure that it's baked, and we will give it some more time if needed. So guys, here's a look at my black cake. It was baking for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Now I will just allow this to cool down and I'll come back and show you the next step. So guys, now that your cake has cooled down, you want to go in with a skewer and you want to poke some holes on the top here. You want to go in with your spray bottle and spray some wine on top. I used equal shares of rum and red wine in my bottle here. So you just want to go in and spray the entire top with the rum and the wine here. You want to give it a good spray and allow it to cool down some more, and then we'll open up it and see how it's looking on the inside, guys. So guys, my cake is nice and cool now, and I'm just gonna open it up and I want to show you guys how it's looking on the inside. And here you have it, guys, my black cake. Now after cutting into the cake, this is what it's looking like on the inside. Now here is the end result of our black cake rum cake recipe. I hope you enjoy this recipe and I hope you give it a try. As usual, I want to say thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed for more delicious recipes.